guys, it's Sarah, and today's Booklist Thursday. This is a video series I do with my friend Lindsey over at Lindsey's Little Library. And every Thursday we bring you some sort of list or book topic that we feel like talking about. And this week we're doing something fun. Okay, so we were talking one day. We talk every day. We were talking one day, and I had talked about how I was looking at Book Outlet and I was going through some things and they were having a sale and blah, blah, blah. And then she sent me a message back later on in the day, and she's like, I'm looking at Book Outlet. I completely blame you. And so we ended up both putting in Book Outlet orders at the same time. And so we thought it would be kind of fun to kind of turn that into a Booklist haul and just blame each other, because we 1000% encouraged each other to go shopping on Book Outlet. So this is going to be a I Blame Lindsey book haul. She's going to have an I Blame Sarah book haul up today. So that's going to be fun. Now I do have I have 4 books here that did not come from Book Outlet, but they did come into my house this month. So I'm going to show those first, and then we will get into my box of Book Outlet books that I bought. Okay, so the first one here was sent to me from the publisher, and that is The Safe Place. This is by Anna Downs, and it goes on sale July 14th. So this is going to be a July release, so I will be reading it more towards July. But this one is a thriller, and I believe it follows a woman who ends up getting an opportunity to go to this kind of really big estate, and she, I think, is going to be a housekeeper there maybe, or a house sitter or something. She's having a really hard time. Yeah, a housekeeper. She's having a hard time. I think she had lost her job, and she was having just kind of a whole bunch of things happened in one day that really brought her down. And then she gets this opportunity to become a house sitter at this man's remote estate, and he's very rich. And so she takes it as an opportunity to kind of get away from everything. But I think she's going to have a hard time leaving at the end of it. So very excited about this one. And again, this one comes out in July. And this one was sent to me by Minotaur Books. Okay, and then I got a surprise box. I got a surprise box from Jenna. She's one of my subscribers, and she sent me 2 different books. Actually, one is for me, one is for Kaylin. So I'll show you the one for me first. So what she sent along was, she saw this on my wish list, and she says that it's one of her favorite series. She really liked it. So she went ahead and sent me a copy of this, and that is Aint Cart. And this is by Cornelia Funk. Cornelia Funk. Funke. I don't know if that's funk or funk, not sure. I've heard so much about this recently, especially during middle grade March. A lot of people were recommending it as their favorite middle grades. I was like, oh, interesting. And I'd always heard about it, but I had never picked it up. So I added it to my wish list after I saw quite a few people talking about it for middle grade March. And then she sent it to me. So thank you, Jenna. And then, okay, so I have my Amazon wish list. So I have my bookie wish list, which I link in all my videos down below. But I also have other wish lists alongside that, and I think you can see them as well, as long as you can see all my public ones. But one of them is a Books for Kaylin, which is my 12-year-old daughter. She's a reader, just like me. She reads all the time. So I do have a wish list going for her, mainly so I can keep an eye on prices, and when things go down, she has series that she likes to read and stuff. So when they go on sale or something, I'll grab them. But she took a look at that, because it is a public list as well. And she sent me this little note with this, and she said, I believe this was on a list you had for your daughter. I don't know when this will arrive, but I hope it brings a little joy to her at a time when things are hectic. And so she sent this for Kaylin, and this is Conceal Don't Feel. It's part of the Twisted Tales series that's being published by Disney, and this one is by Jen Kalanita. There's a couple different authors who are contributing to this series, but this one takes a twist on Disney fairy tales. So this is obviously a Frozen retelling, and the tagline here is, what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other? So this will take a look at their story from a different angle, and if things happen. So Kaylin has really been wanting to get into this series. There's quite a few books. I think there's 10 books out. And I think another one, I don't know if book number 10 just came out or if it's about to come out, but it's a Cinderella one, I believe. So I put all of the books on her wish list. She already has one of them. She has the Jasmine one, and then now she has this one too. But I put all of them on there because she wants to collect them and, you know, start reading them. So she was very excited when I showed her this, and her face just completely lit up. So Jenna, you made her day, and you definitely gave her some joy. So thank you. And you made me cry because, you know, tug at my heartstrings. Okay, and then I did buy one thing off of Amazon for myself. I treated myself one day. No rhyme or reason. I've been wanting this book for a very long time, and I finally just decided to get it. And that is a Firefly book. This is called Big Damn Hero. It's written by James Lovegrove. And there's a consulting editor by Joss Whedon, Joss Whedon was the, I guess, producer of the Firefly TV show. I loved that show so much. I love Nathan Fillion so much. I love him. And this was a show that was on the Sci-Fi Network years and years and years ago, so long ago. It was only one season. It was fantastic. This kind of has a little bit of a cult following for Firefly. And then there was also a follow-up movie, which was also great. And I think there's been like so many talks of bringing it back, and like, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but they did start writing some of these books that kind of accompany that. So this is the first one. I think there's there's 2 out definitely. I think number 3 maybe just came out this month, and there's a number 4 coming out later in the year as well. So they're coming out, and I figured I would just go ahead and pick it up. I love it. It's literally space cowboys. That's like the best, or pirates, maybe pirates, because they do steal things. It's so good, and it's so snarky, and I love it. And I'm excited just to kind of dive back into this universe for sure. Okay, so those are books that came outside of my book outlet box. Now I will go into my book outlet box and show you what I got. This is what I'm blaming on Lindsey. There's 7 of them. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, so let's piggyback off of the Firefly book, because I also found book number 2, and this was on book outlet. Book number 1 was not on book outlet. I couldn't find it, but number 2 was on there. So I went ahead and picked this one up as well. This one is called The Magnificent Nine. Same author and publisher and stuff. And so this is book number 2 in the series. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like, I really need to pick these up because I love it so much. And then I found a book. This is a fantasy book. I believe it's a young adult, and it's one that I have had my eye on for a while. And I don't know. Something kept me from picking up because I wasn't quite sure. I'd heard mixed things and I just wasn't sure. But Elliot Brooks actually is the one who kind of made me go, okay, I'm going to add that to my cart. And I added it finally. But she read this and she really enjoyed it. And she did say, you know, I can understand why people didn't like it, but because it's a slow burn, it's not super action packed. It's very character driven. But she loved it. So I went ahead and I picked it up. And that is The Queens of Ennis, Lear. And this is by Tessa Gratton. Yeah. So $3, 3 daughters, 1 throne, all out war. I don't fully know the premise of this, but I know that it does follow 3 sisters, and they're all vying for the throne of their kingdom somehow. And I don't know if it's something where they have to, I don't know if they have to battle to the death. I don't think so. I think that's 3 Dark Crowns. But something like that's going to be happening in here. And then when it came, oh my gosh, it's the oversized paperback that I love, and it's chunky, and I'm like, yes, please. So when I do pick this up, I'm just going to need to go in not expecting to just, you know, it'll probably be something that I read a little bit slower and, you know, all that stuff. So as long as I'm prepared for that, I think I'm going to really enjoy this. So yeah, but I picked it up on Book Outlet. Another one that I grabbed is one that has been on my wish list for quite a while. I really, really want to read this, and I finally just picked it up, and that is At the Wolf's Table. And this is by Rosella Postorino. This is a World War II historical fiction that follows a girl who gets a job, and she has to be the taste tester for Hitler. He had many because he was afraid of getting poisoned. I wonder why. So we're going to follow this girl who is one of his taste testers, and I think that's fascinating. This is also very short. It's a very short book, so I think it's something I can probably read through really quickly, but it's been on my wish list for a very long time, and I finally just grabbed it. And I've heard really good things, so definitely want to read this one. All right, getting back into the fantasy mode. I don't know if these are young adult or if these are adult fantasy. I'm not quite sure, but I did get the first 2 books in this series. And the first one is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. This is book number 1, and book number 2 is The Name of All Things. So these were both on Book Outlet, so I went ahead and grabbed them. They're hardcover. They are beautiful. These are gorgeous, gorgeous books. I don't know what they're about. I will fully admit I have no idea. I know that they're fantasy. This one might have dragons in it. There's a dragon. I don't know. I have no idea. But I grabbed them. That's all I have to say for myself. Another one that I grabbed because I have been wanting this for a while. It's by an author that I have read and really enjoyed, and I want to read more of her work. So I went ahead and grabbed this one. This is Elusive. This is by Emily Lloyd Jones. She wrote The Hearts We Sold, which I read and loved. And then she also wrote The Bone Houses, which I pre-ordered and I haven't read yet, but I've heard amazing things about that one. This one was published quite a while ago, so this is one of her older books. And I've actually heard good things about this one. I want to say Emma from Emma Books read this and really loved it. And it was one of those things where she just picked it up randomly. She had never heard of it, and it was a surprise to her. So I've had it on my wish list for a while, and then when I did read one of her books and loved it, I was like, I want to read more from her. So I added this for sure. So there's this one, and then there's also a sequel called Deceptive, which was not on Book Outlet at the time when I placed this order. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that one. But I figured I would go ahead and get this, and I don't know let's see. Okay, this is like a superhero type thing. So there was an experimental vaccine that kind of, they were experimenting, and then things happened that they weren't expecting. A small percentage of the population ended up getting superhuman powers because of it. And I think that they are using those powers to become criminals. Basically, they're using them to get away with some things. So yeah, I'm excited. Another book that I have heard really, really good things about is The Grace Year, and this is by Kim Liggett. And this one, I believe, is something where women are sent away for a year for some sort of reason. Maybe they come of age or something like that. I don't fully know. But I've heard really, really good things from almost anyone who's read it. They have said, like, this is amazing. Loved it, blah, blah, blah. So I added it, and I love the cover. So beautiful. Okay, this next one, I do want to read it. It sounds fun. It sounds cute. I love the cover. It was definitely just kind of like an impulse buy thing, and I think it was $2. Like, come on. So I picked up The People We Hate at the Wedding. This is by Grant Ginder. Yeah, Grant Ginder. Yeah, this is, I'm guessing, it takes place at a wedding, and it's supposed to be funny. Yeah, so sounds cute. And the last one that I picked up is Blood for Blood. This is by Ryan Groudon. This is the sequel to Wolf for Wolf, which I have up here on my shelves, and I haven't read that yet, but this is a historical fiction, another World War II, another one that features Hitler, and I think this is more of a fantasy. This takes a fantastical element to it as well, but there's only 2 books, so it's a duology, and let me tell you, when I picked this up out of the box, I went, oh my gosh, it's huge. The first one is not this big, so I was really surprised at how big the sequel is, but yeah. I love chunky books, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, this will be the sequel to that, and it does involve Hitler, and I believe it involves a girl who is trying to win a motorcycle competition in order to meet him so that she can kill him. I do have the duology now, so I'm excited. And I actually also picked up 2 other books. They were both for my daughter Kaylin, but I wanted to go ahead and show them because I did get them on Book Outlet, but that is Furthermore and Witchwood, both by Tahara Mafi. She's been wanting to read Furthermore for sure for a while. She's been asking for a while. I think she's getting old enough that she can probably read and enjoy this. So I saw this one on there, and then the sequel was on there too. So I went ahead and just grabbed both of them for her. So they're not for me, they're for her. But they are available on Book Outlet if you're interested. Okay, so those are the books I got from Book Outlet, plus a couple extra, and I completely blame Lindsey. So, yeah, if you guys have not checked out Book Outlet, please do. especially right now, they have such a great selection, and their books are, if you get them in the new conditions, they are all brand new books. They are just overstock, and they sell them for dirt cheap. I'm not kidding you. I rarely find anything more than $10 on there for brand new hardcover books. And then you can also get scratch and dent books which are even more cheap, but they will be damaged some way, somehow. You don't really know what the condition is. So that's a little bit more of a chance, but I cannot talk highly enough of Book Outlet. They are fantastic. And if you haven't ordered from them yet and you want to place your first order, I'm going to leave a code down below that you can use, or a link down below that you can use, and you can get $10 off your first order. Only if you've never ordered from them before, so keep that in mind. But use the link down below and you can get your account started and then get $10 off your first order. That's fantastic. You could probably get 2 free books from that. Easy. And shipping is amazing. If you spend more than $35, you get free shipping. If you have spend less than $35, it's only $5 flat fee. That's amazing. So definitely check them out, especially if you're in the mood to order some books right now to kind of help you get through this quarantine period that we're going through. Highly, highly recommend. Make sure you go check out Lindsey and see what she's blaming me for today. I take full responsibility for it. No regrets. All right. We will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.